Hello and welcome to the Listening Post's unboxing channel on YouTube. Today I'm unboxing some awesome high-end bookshelf speakers from Bowers Wilkins. They're B&W 705 S3. B&W, they've been producing speakers for a very long period of time, and their series, so you know, S2, S3, really clearly identify a big step up in performance between it and its predecessor. There's some amazing improvements in this range, and this is the first that sees the decoupled tweeter on the top, which we'll see in a moment. Packaging for the B&W range, well, firstly, these are a mid-sized bookshelf speaker, but because the tweeter sits above the main box of the speaker, they're quite a lot bigger. The packaging is, that is. Nevertheless, the packaging has scannable information for the serial numbers of each speaker and model information on all three sides to ensure that no matter how it's sort of packed or however you might scan or look for those serial numbers, it's right there. You've got some basic information about packing and other things. It's 21.7 kilos for a box of these. You've got Bowers Wilkins, 705 and the S3. Got a bit more information about where they're designed and then manufactured. It's worth mentioning these are in rose nut today, so we will get to see one of the more appealing wood grain colours. Also on the top is a line drawing associated with how you are best to unbox it. And it's really kind of clear and it's important, and I guess it does highlight that B&W, it's not their first rodeo, right? They know the information people will need to get the best out of the speakers that they are supplying. The packaging is excellent from a quality perspective, and the box itself is secured closed with the classic B&W sort of fabric tape. Opening is pretty straightforward, and as I hope you sort of saw, I sort of lifted before cutting. It just means that the knife can drag safely along the top and not potentially damage things that are just inside the packaging. The reason I mention it is just inside that packaging is the extensive information and warranty. So look, in here B&W talks about speaker placement, it talks about the range of speakers, it talks about running in period, it talks about the port wads, the binding posts, the method of connection as far as bananas, pins, everything. It's a really, really comprehensive manual and brochure about the range. Next in the top is a couple of things. Firstly, the little 3M sticky bump-ons that you put underneath the speaker if you're sitting on a flat traditional surface, and two port wads to help manage the airflow and pressure in the box and tune the bass response. These are really, really important if the speaker is perhaps up against a wall, or if one speaker is closer to a wall and another one is in a more open space. You can tune the bass response of each using the two sections of the port wad. Basically, there's a cutout giving you the ability to have sort of half or whole dampened. It's brilliant. Now, the easiest thing to do at this point, as with everything that's heavy, once you've got those accessories out, is roll the box very, very carefully over and take the box off the speaker. Not try to prise the heavy speaker out of the box. Now you'll see the other half of the polystyrene, but you'll also see one of the grills sitting there as well. So we'll put that there, get rid of the box. Now the grill, we'll pause on the one that's come free. The grills are separately packed in a plastic bag. The grills themselves are curved, and they have a combination. The cloth itself is acoustically transparent, so it's meaningless as far as whether or not this is on or off as far as its performance. It's magnetic, and the magnets are covered with a little bit of sort of foam to ensure that there's no chatter and so noise from the grill. And if there's any microscopic vibration over time, it's not going to leave a mark on the front of the speaker. So that's really, really good. It's curved, and it is designed to follow the design ethos of the rest of the speaker. Obviously, The other grill's identical, we'll put that off to one side. Then there's the speakers. Now very, very carefully, remembering that it has the tweeter off to one side, I'm going to take that one out and then put this one just off to one side. Again, very careful to ensure that the decoupled tweeter is protected in every move that you make as far as positioning this. Okay, there's a moulded polystyrene, off it goes. Now getting the speaker out of the bag from here is very, very straightforward. It's simply sealed closed with a piece of sticky tape. And once you sort of rock and fold that under, it's going to slip straight off. Before I do though, I'd like to show you the base of the speaker. Firstly, there's a little bit of information associated with the model and some of the perhaps manufacturing standards and things that they must approve to. But also you'll see that it's pre-tacked for a very specific set of B&W stands that enable it to bolt directly into a prefabricated point in the speaker, offering exceptional grip and clamp to that stand and eliminate any vibration from the top surface of the stand into the speaker and vice versa. We've also of course got a glimpse at the awesome rose nut finish. Rolling it over carefully, we get to reveal the speaker for the first time. And there we have it. Again, the beautiful exotic finish of the rose nut wood is so appealing, and it creates a lovely two-tone effect from the black of the decoupled tweeter and the wood grain of the cabinet itself. This is a soft, almost satin finish. There's no gloss to it. I think that's brilliantly appealing. And again, they've done a brilliant job of the cabinetry. So spin this round carefully, you get to see the tapered effect that they have with the tweeter. Now there's two things with that. I've mentioned with most speakers the fact that the reflection of the frequencies produced by the drive unit, the mechanical process, can potentially reflect directly off the surface of the cabinet. Well, obviously when you've got a tapered design like this, there is no reflection directly off the front. There's nothing to reflect off. So they managed it brilliantly. But also this one piece of aluminium, it hides inside a tube, a dampening tube. Conceptually, when you've got a drive unit, particularly one running as fast as a tweeter, the standing waves that it could potentially create can influence its efficiency or its ability to grip and control those extremely delicate frequencies. Think of it like back pressure or something like that. So what B&W do, and it's been something they've incorporated in some of the most expensive and some of their budget speakers now, is a tube designed to have a tapering effect, and that tube is filled with cotton cloth material to dampen that potential effect and eliminate it completely eliminate it, really. I mean, it's mathematically eliminated down to a 0.000%, right? It's gone. Nevertheless, it also adds a very appealing style to it. Now, it's decoupled. You can see, spin it around, you can see that there's a sort of a wobble to it. That mechanical decoupling is also designed to ensure that no vibration from the cabinet itself can affect the tweeter or vice versa. Nevertheless, tilting it back, we'll tilt it forward for a second because I want to show you a very appealing design. The Bowers Wilkins logo is screen printed on the top, and you get a lovely two-tone effect with the exposed aluminium. Tilting it back, we see the 6.5-inch mid-bass driver, and the two couple together to end up with a frequency response of, a frequency range of 45 to 33 kilohertz, and a response of maybe 50 to 28. The tweeter itself has a break-up frequency well beyond any recorded frequency. In fact, it's well beyond double. It's about 47, 48 kilohertz, meaning that at no point any recorded frequency can cause this tweeter to distort in any way. Brilliant. Absolutely perfect by design. The iconic mid-bass driver. You'll also see how easy it is to move. It's very well built. The annulus and all of the moving parts are there to add control, but not influence the efficiency of the drive unit. It's a perfect balance. You may pick up on the fact that the front surface of the cabinet is also curved and that the mid-bass driver sits out slightly to manage its reflection into the room and ensure that the mid-range is subtle and focused. Again, the cabinet, you'll see it's not very deep. This isn't designed to be a massive speaker. From a power perspective and things like that, most 40 to 120 watt amplifiers will be more than enough to get the most out of this speaker. At the back we see a couple of things. Firstly, their flared port with these sort of golf ball dimples to them. That's designed to manage the air flow and pressure in the port and manage the chamber itself as far as how the mid-bass driver will be affected with that airflow. Then we see a 5-way binding post clearly marked high and low frequencies and negative and positive, and they use little red bungs that if you have a look at some of our other bookshelf speaker you'll see how to remove those. But the 5-way binding post and the bridging clip are very easy to remove if you need to buy wire or perhaps buy amp, and removing those little caps is very straightforward as well. Now the speakers themselves are available in 4 colours. There's a white and a black. There's what you see here, rose nut, and then there's a beautiful mocha finish as well. All of them share the same basic character as far as their style, with some influences in the white to give a nice appeal with a silver finish. Nevertheless, there we have it. B&W's stunning Series 3 705 bookshelf speaker, unboxed here at the Listening Post in Christchurch, New Zealand.
Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, subscribe to our channel.